After a breakup, there's usually a very strong drive to stay in touch with our ex. There's usually a very strong drive to stay connected, to be able to speak with them, to know what they're up to. In this video, I will explain why space is critical if you want to repair a relationship. We're going to discuss the different psychological drivers. We're going to discuss the different approaches and strategies that you can adopt if you want to get back with your ex, if you want to repair the relationship. Jingle.
IGetMyExBack.com. Everyone deserves a second chance.
So when I say giving space, I'm not saying giving up. It's actually, what you have to understand is that right now, we have to think in a way, what can I do right now that will increase my chances of success? Staying in touch, I will discuss in this video, sometimes will reduce your chances of getting back together or repairing the relationship. If you rush back at things, and this applies as well in other areas in life, you're gonna be repeating same mistakes. So very often I have clients calling me, telling me have these sort of patterns of breaking up, getting back together, breaking up, getting back together. And the problem is it happens because this breakup didn't teach you anything. I'm a strong believer that breakups can be useful. That actually breakups are situations that create stronger relationships. It's obviously not the right way to strengthen a relationship, but when it happens, you have two options. Either to say, okay, it's over, we're giving up, we're not meant to be together, or we decide, okay, there's something I can learn about that. There's something we can improve together. So the point of that space is to create that healthier reconnection. If you don't create any space, if you don't leave enough time for you, things will be the same. And your ex won't get back with you if things are the same. You will not be happier if things are the same. Something needs to change, and use that space to act change. So why space is crucial? First of all, there's the emotional reset. Breakup is full of tension, resentment. You have to step away from that. And time and space would create that. As I said, it's to break old patterns. It's very hard to break something, to break a pattern if you continue, right? Makes sense. And also, and I think more importantly, and perhaps you're watching this video at this stage, you need clarity. A breakup always gives us tons of questions. Tons of things we are wondering, tons of questions with no answers, but also with a bit of time, few days, few weeks, you'll be able to assess the relationship more clearly. When I onboard my clients, the first thing that we do is do a relationship assessment. So there's an exercise that I give to my clients where they have to really analyze their relationship objectively. It's very hard to do because usually when we're in love with someone, we're not very objective. And the point is to detach yourself from the relationship in the sense of like, okay, be in a way cold and distant with the facts. This way we can better analyze what went wrong, our roles and responsibilities in the breakup, and the things that we need to do to adjust. You can't do it if you're in touch with your ex. You can't do it if you're constantly trying to get back with them, trying to communicate with them. You need a bit of time apart to do this assessment on your own or with a coach or a therapist. What you have to understand, and that's really true in relationship, is the iceberg effect. What you see on the outside is not the reflection of what's going on. It's only a small proportion. When you take that distance, when you give your ex some space, when you give yourself some space, this is where things will be more clear. Because when you are away from that situation, from that tension, when you analyze, as I discussed, this is where you can understand your emotions, your fears, the unconscious patterns. Again, these are things you can discover on your own or with a therapist. Obviously, with a therapist, our work is to really help you unpack those emotions, understand those emotions, and try to test strategies to change your either coping mechanism and understand your fears and understand the root causes of your fear. So when you are triggered in the future, you won't react the same way. And so if you rush back and don't spend time to process, let's discuss about your emotions. Let's say you don't process your emotions. What will happen is that you might get triggered for the same reason and react the same way and say or do things that you regret down the line because you haven't really processed your emotions. Also, if you don't process your emotions, you might not see clearly that this relationship is not right for you. It's toxic. Or you might be thinking, putting your ex on a pedestal, whereas like actually you have to realize that it takes two to make this relationship a success. So again, don't rush back. I know there's always this inner conflict of like, I want them back because the sooner I get back with them, the sooner I won't feel this pain. Right? It makes sense. But the sooner you get back with them, you're rushing things, right? And you are not creating foundations that will be strong enough to sustain that future relationship. Because what you are doing right now is to set the foundation, lay the foundations for that new relationship. If you rush, like any sort of project, and you don't have strong foundations, it's not going to work, it's going to collapse. So what happens if you skip the space? There's going to be emotional clutter. You will have old feelings that are unresolved. And again, you're going to bring those baggage into the relationship. Unhealthy dynamic will continue. Remember, regardless whether you're the one who took the decision to end the relationship, you both don't want to end up where you left. And so if you don't assess, if you don't work on those things, you will reproduce the same thing. And healing is very important. That's what I do. That's my job, is to help people to heal. It's important for you to heal. It's important for your ex to heal. Even if they took the decision to end the relationship, they need that time to reflect on the relationship, to reflect on their roles and responsibilities in that breakup. Also for them to realize what they want, what they've lost, away from the tension, away from the pressure, potential pressure from this relationship. So that's one part of the Reconnect course that I developed and that I actually include in all my coaching. This idea, and this is the part around nurture and creating healthier habits. The idea is to break those old cycles. You will not get back with your ex if things remain the same. You will not have healthier, secure relationship if things are the same, if you are continuing to reproduce the same patterns again and again. And the only way to do that is to take some time. When I say some time, I'm not saying 6 months. 2 weeks, a month's time is enough for you to reflect on those things. But do it properly, with intention, with focus. Don't think, okay, I'm just going to journal for a day and then tomorrow I'm going to reach out because I will figure out everything. No. It takes a bit of time to process. It takes a bit of time to really understand. Maybe there's like 30, 40 years of programming, of beliefs or limited beliefs that you have to unpack, that you have to understand. My approach as a therapist is for you to get those results as quickly as possible and not, you don't need to be in 2 years therapy with someone to figure this out. You can get those insights very quickly. And that's what we do in this Reconnect framework. I think the the first letter of the framework is really about like the reflection element. And how can we learn? How can we have as many insights as possible to make the right decisions, to really understand and feel also empowered? Because my strong belief is that it's way easier to change. It's way easier to feel better if you have the information, if you have the insight, if you understand how you function, if you understand the relationship dynamic and where this behavior, where this pattern is coming from, to deconstruct those things and replace them with healthier, more secure behavior. So that's what we do in the program. Have a look in the description. There will be a few links either to join my coaching, WhatsApp coaching with me one-on-one. I have a handful of clients every month where we use this framework to discuss about their relationship, to discuss about a form of action plan, whether they want to get back with their ex or whether they want to move on. could, you know, be either way around. The point is like using this breakup as a starting point for a journey of growth and discovery. All my clients, and if you look at the reviews, they testify that it really helped them to learn and grow from that. And it is, breakups are really a difficult place, right? Don't get me wrong, I know it. And I've been in your shoes. The point is, what can we do with that? Obviously, like a lot of changes in life, you can do it on your own. You can have someone to help you. I believe that if you can afford having someone to help you is way better. The same way when I go to the gym, I prefer to go to classes or have a PT. So I know I can sort of give the best and not sort of cancel, and there's a form of accountability. Now, how can you use this space effectively? Let's stop talking about my clients. Let's start talking about you. Focus on yourself. So self-growth, healing, understanding your patterns. Respect your ex's space. So that's why we go no contact for a bit. It depends on the context. If you've been in no contact and now there's a good dynamic with your ex, there's no point getting back to no contact. But you have, in most cases, you need to go no contact at some stage. And one important thing, and maybe you don't hear that online, is to set a deadline. The thing is, you could be reflecting on yourself for the rest of your life. The point is, you have to understand that at some stage, your ex won't be waiting for you, right? And sometimes, and I've seen that online, you go no contact and you should never, ever, 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 ever reconnect with your ex. Sometimes, and actually in a lot of cases, you just need to nudge them. So the point is figuring out whether you need to wait a month, 3 months. I don't like to wait more than 6 months, depending on the length of the relationship, on the breakup, etc. But set yourself a deadline. The reason it's important is because you know that for the next 30, 45, 60 days, reaching out to your ex is not an option, right? You know that at this date you will reach out if they don't. And so in that sense, that removes the pressure of uncertainty. You know, the plan is very clear. You do that. And maybe every single day, every single week, you do an exercise, you reflect on something, you discuss with a friend, with a therapist, whoever, but you feel that progress. So let's say we're talking about 4 weeks. Okay, what are you doing in week 1? What are you doing in week 2, week 3, week 4? And you need something that you can measure. It shouldn't be like, oh yeah, I'm just, I watch a few videos of Alexis, etc. No. Watching my videos, it's a great thing. Well done. And if you like it, subscribe and like. But it's also about action. Watching my videos is the entry point. Now it's like, okay, take action. Buy some books, get some trainings, see a therapist, but do the work. I'm not saying that you should necessarily buy something. It's really about like, what's your responsibility in this? And I'm, for instance, amongst people who prefer to have someone to help them, because I prefer and I like this idea of being efficient and fast. But it's something you can do on your own, and that's the reason I'm making those videos, is for you to take action. Space is critical for emotional clarity and breaking old habits. As I said, there's a link to the Reconnect course. If you want to test it, there's a free trial. If you want to watch more videos like this one, subscribe. If you have any questions about this, let me know in the comment section. Take care of yourself. You don't need to write to your ex today. Nothing will happen if you don't text them in a week, for 1, 2, 3, or 4 weeks. They're not going to forget you. They're not going to be starting a new relationship right away. Space is the most critical, powerful tool. If you want to learn something from this breakup, take care of yourself. Bye-bye.